Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Ultima VII Part 2, Serpentile. Okay, let's review our funds. Let's see. We have 1,405 monetari, 7,760 gold coins, 302 guilders, 872 falari, 0 gold nuggets, 0 gems, 0 pieces of jewelry, and 0 bars of gold. Yep. We've got a nice little nest egg. Now I believe... there we go. Yeah, so we do have a secret passage. Flip that. We've got a key. Let's go ahead and grab this one. Now that's locked. Okay, we don't have it on the key ring. Let's see if we can pick it. Oh! Oh, that was fun. Nice little explosion on us. How are we doing on hit points? You're fine, you're fine. Alright, Shimino got seriously injured, so let's fix that. Should probably pull up his page 10, 11. Oh, come on. Do more than 1 hit point at a time. Thanks. 2 hit points. That's 16, 19, 22, 24. This is why I have them. 27, 29, and there we go. Ow. Well, some bandages and some monetari. I'll take the monetari. Actually. There we go. Alright, who got injured? I got injured. I do have a lot of training points. I'll have to do that. Use those at some point. Alright, I'm good. I'm the only one that got injured, so... Shimino, go ahead and take that. Alright. Let's see if that opened, that did open that. Okay, so I'm not sure what the, all these switches on the upper floor are for. Incidentally, this is where we are on the map, out in the middle of the ocean. I'm sure that's accurate. Very accurate. Let me find exactly where that is on the map. Alright, there we go. Not sure exactly where this will lead us to if we go in here. I believe there are stairs, yep. Hello, rat. You did not last long. And that door is locked, so let's go ahead and pick that lock. Alright, what about the... there we go. Anything on the corpse? We've got a scroll. This day Silverpate came to see me. The black-hearted demon came... He's black deer? He's a deer? He was a deer? What? The black-hearted demon came to gloat. Oh, okay, I see. The person who's writing this doesn't know how to spell, that's it. And to give me scroll and quill. He said that I could write whatever I wanted, for I would never see daylight again. I fear he is right. Silverpate believes that I stole from him. The paranoid old coot. I never would believe me mates when they spoke of the little demons in the captain's pate telling him what to do. Of course, I believed him right enough when old Pate told me these things herself. Alas, I learned too late to prevent me imprisonment. I figure old Pate will never read me words, and if he do, then so be it. Whomever ye be that reads me words, be warned against Captain Silverpate. He uses magic wardrobes to spy on his own mates. The little switches at the bowl don't work, the captain said, unless the master wardrobe is used. This master wardrobe be situated down here in the Catacombs. I also heard the evil-hearted bastard yammer about some Serpent gate. Old Pate said the gate was hidden. It be right hard to be thinking straight, but I think the captain said something about 2 torches marking the hidden entrance. Maybe the Serpent gate could help thee. Course, it be likely that no bloke will e'er read me scribbling. Pate thinks everyone be after his treasure. So distrustful be old Pate, he even spies on his own family. Let it be known that I, Bren, chief bosun of the Black Gull, were a pirate who never turned against one of his own. Ah, okay. Is that just a rock? Garbage. Okay, close enough. Well, so this is apparently, no, it's not these 2 torches. This is apparently the catacombs where Silverpate hid his treasure. I'm looking to see what we may have around here. I guess I'll go this way. Just have some debris here. Doesn't look like there's anything there. There's 2 torches here. It doesn't look like it. 2 torches here. Nope. Wardrobe room. Do we have the key for this one? We do. Alright, it didn't do anything. I do not know what these do. Okay, it's not on the key ring, so can we pick this one? Nope. Okay, so are these all just exploding? Nope. Not quite. Let's go ahead and grab that key. And we've got a map. We've got the Skull Crusher Mountains, Glacier Mountains. There's something here. It says Silverpate. There's a cave entrance there with an X. So ice plains. Let's see. Maybe right there? Possibly right there? I don't know. It's hard to tell from that map. But let's go ahead and grab it. Put it in there. We'll keep it in mind. Can we get any healing from this one? Oh, lovely. Well, so, no. Okay, so that one heals, that one cures poison. Oh, I just noticed that. There's a strange potion there. We got 75 Monetari. We got 100 Guilders. We've got a magic scroll of false coin and mass cure. I like the names of those spells. Let's go ahead and take them. Is this going to heal me up? No, but it'll make me invisible. Not that this does anything, but whee! Now everything is grayscaled. That didn't last long. Alright. No idea what any of this does. Oh. I did something. Oh. Oh, it's a teleporter. Ah, neat. Okay. Alright, so now that I've flipped the wardrobe room, I could teleport around if I wanted to. Well, that's good. Alright. Oh, hello, rats. Let's go kill you. Nothing down there. Huh. Nothing there. Ah, there we go. What does this say? Go this way. Let's not do that just yet. Wine room. Magic wine. Magic wine. Lots of grapes, if I wanted any. Wonder if I want to trust these. It doesn't look like I can use the wine press. Actually, I wonder. Nope. I'll just eat the grapes. Alright, so... Oh, hush up, people. Doesn't seem to have done much. Cease and desist! Okay, so I've emptied that one. It didn't seem to do anything. Here you go, Dupre. I know you like wine. So... the magic wine does nothing? Doesn't seem to. Oh well. Alright, so over here, looks like we might have some rats. Alright guys, that's enough. Oh. That was fun. We got some gold coins. Take those. Ooh. Antique armor. I'll take that, just because. We got a hidden bag with some monetary. Take that. Are these going to explode on me? Oh. I'll take those. Ooh, 60 guilders there. And some armor that I don't really care about. Let's see. I need some healing. It's good enough for now. Let's see if we got anything up this way. Oh, a gazer. Well, we found the Serpent Gate. Nothing on the gazer. it's locked. I suppose I should probably cure Shimino there. Alright, do we have any... Well, this is going to be a little bit problematic. Where are the red potions? I think I see one right here. Yeah, there we go. There you go, Shimino. Alright, let's go ahead and use some bandages. I mean, I've got them. Might as well use them. I don't have a spell book yet, which I really need to get. That didn't seem to do much to Shimino, so it's not too bad. That does look better. All right. So let's do key. No, it's not on the key ring, huh? Well, let's go ahead and use the lock picks. Unlocked. Okay, we don't have the key and the lockpicks don't work. Ah, well, maybe now we do. Explosion! Ooh, fun times. The Dark Path. Oh. Sounds interesting. Which is my... There we go. Put that in there, that in there, that in there. Hey, they actually do look a little bit different. There we go. Alright, now do we have the key for this? We do! Where does this go? Oh. Hello? It's not quite where I wanted it to take me, but, okay. We will make our way back down. Does that just, like, play random music when we get down here or something? Oh, hey, rats. Yes, to the death! Take this! Damn thee, rats! Damn thee! Thanks for slaughtering those rats, guys. That's right honorable of you. Okay, we got a door here. Oh, hello, acid slug. We got a corpse with some cash, 20 Falari. Got another corpse here with a scroll of create food. Ooh, I like the green glow on that. Alright, that just created a poison field, I think. That's empty. And that has done something. Fun times. Okay, so, yeah, he was a lying liar who lied. Does not look like there's much of anything else to get here. Let me just take a quick look at the map. No, I'm not really seeing anything else of relevance here. So, I think we will teleport back up there. And what time is it now? Get that in there. It's 1:41 a.m. 1:48 a.m. All right, we have not opened this one. I don't have a key for it. So let's pick it. Oh wow, that is quite the haul. Well, to an extent. I mean, it's cash. So I don't mind if I do. And I think I still have hack mover on, so let's turn that off for now. We've talked to you. We've talked to you. We have not talked to you. Greetings, fellow pikemen. Come in out of them strange storms and rest a bit. This be the inn of the Sleeping Bull, and I be Argus, the innkeeper. Tell me about the storms. These ain't natural storms, or I was never a wolf captain. If thou wert to ask me, living all these years across from Moonshade, I'd say they were magic-born. And I'm afeard they'll drive us out of business if they last too long. Tell me about the Sleeping Bull. 'Tis an uncommon name, to be sure. It doth have something to do with the village that once was here. According to family tales, this land once belonged to a mage who hated all people. This mage created a huge stone bull to kill trespassers on his land. 'Twas the bull's defeat that gave the village its name, and in turn became the name of the inn itself. You were a wolf captain? I see that thou art also of the Wolf Command, though I must confess I can't recall having seen thee. Until my father disappeared 6 months ago, I was a captain in the Monitor Wolf Command. Now, however, I am the innkeeper, and I'll not stand by the formalities of rank. Thou art welcome here. Why, thank you. Tell me about Moonshade. I've never been there myself, and not being overly fond of wizards and their feuds. But if thou desirest spells or items of enchantment, that is the place to go. If thou art looking to go to the city of mages, thou wilt need a boat. Out of business? Few people care to stray too far from shelter these days. Even Hawk put in here and refused to budge because of the storms, though his passengers are less than thrilled with his decision. And all our help ran off to the cities, hoping that it would be safer around all those buildings. Tell me about the bull's defeat. One day the mage heard a local noble's son claim that he could defeat the bull. The mage told the boy he was welcome to try, but death would be the reward of failure. When the boy asked what would reward his success, the mage wagered his land. That night the boy stole the ring from the bull's nose, turning it back to an animate stone. The village was named after the huge stone bull that once stood in the center of the market square. I do not know what happened to the bull, if ever there was one, for I searched for it as a lad and never found it. Tell me about your father's disappearance. Aye, Angus disappeared, not during one of those storms, neither. We could have understood that, and Mother, Deborah, said that one of our guests disappeared at the very same evening. Tell me about that guest. Thou must needs ask Mother what she remembers of that night. I weren't here. Mother was understandably aggrieved by the time she called me home. She had hoped that Lord Wilfred would come to run this inn as Father had hoped, but I came instead, and I don't recall if she mentioned the guest's name, to be honest. Lord Wilfred? Blast, did I call him that? Old habits die hard. I'd thank thee not to repeat that in Deborah's hearing, for she'd have mine ears for sure. Wilfred is my younger brother, and like most brothers, we have our share of spats. What? Super tight bike shorts? Spats? I grew up here in the inn, scrubbing the pots and whatever else were needed, but I dreamed of seeing more of the world. I went wandering when I was a young lad, and Angus, our father, raised Wilfred using me as the bad example. But instead of making Wilfred hold to his wishes, Angus drove Wilfred into my footsteps, determined to best anything I did. Best, you say? I became a captain and monitor, and that was not good enough for Wilfred. He had to be a knight, and a bear at that. 'Tis sad to see the likes of him and his friends making a mockery of Monitor's ideals. What ideals are these? Thou hast seen the changes, I'm sure. Courage and valor have become so debased that knights like Wilfred are little more than braggarts and mercenaries. Where once the pinnacle of honor was a Monitorian knight, now people see them as vain bullies. It sickens me. I had nearly decided to renounce my commission when Mother sent word of Father's disappearance. So you were a bad example? It sounds like you were the good example, actually. Father said I were too much like my great-grandfather, Silverpate. He never thought I'd amount to much even after I'd made captain. It like to broke his heart when Wilfred ran away to Monitor. That's where the Lord Wilfred hies from? Whatever. He acts like a swaggery noble with all of his self-important ambition. Tell me about your great-grandfather. Silverpate were a pirate, I'll make no bones about it. He built this inn when he retired from the sea. His son, Donald, my father's father, great-great-grandfather, whatever, took over when Silverpate disappeared. Some think he might have gone back to the sea. Others say that his evil past caught up to him. No one ever saw him again. But there have been plenty wanting to hunt for his treasure. I've got some maps here that might lead to his treasure. Family legend doth say that Silverpate used part of his treasure to build the inn. Everyone seems to think that he hid whatever was left somewhere around here before he disappeared. But I'll tell thee, there ain't no treasure, and I should know. Let's talk about Monitor. What can I tell thee that thou dost not already know? Well, actually, probably quite a bit. Monitor is a city to the south of here. 'Tis dedicated to courage and valor. Monitorian soldiers are called the pikemen and wear a tattoo on their faces. There are 3 pikemen commands, the wolves, the leopards, and the bears. I'm a captain in the wolf command. Each command runs the city for a portion of the year. Well, I kind of know this already, but let's talk about running the city. The senior officer of the command becomes Lord of Monitor for that command's portion of the year. This ensures the continuing balance of commands. 'Twas meant to keep the battling for supremacy between the commands at a minimum. If each command knows that it will have a chance to control the city during the year, more attention is given to the military functions of the command rather than the political. Tell me about the Wolf Command. A hardy bunch, are we not? Not as hot-headed as those bears, and much more tightly knit than those leopards. Indeed. Tell me about wizard feuds. There isn't a sorcerer alive what doesn't scheme to become Mage Lord of that city. The whole place is split into rival factions that bicker constantly with each other. Tell me about the boat. The magic storms have wrecked every boat on this coast except one. That vessel belongs to Captain Hawk. Captain Hawk, you say? 'Tis no use think of hiring him. He was in a fracas here, broke things up a bit. The pikemen dragged Hawk away when he took a swing at their commander. He's being held at Bull Tower until he pays their fine. Tell me about the pikemen there. I didn't call them, milady. I've known Hawk since I was a boy, and being a pikeman myself, I have little to worry about with him. To be sure, he can put up a mighty fight and break things, but he always pays for the damages when he wakes. Someone else must have pulled them in after him. Someone else? Do you know who? I'd wager my sword that it was that merchant Flindo. He was mightily put out when Hawk refused to sail to Moonshade until the storms eased up. Tell me about the passengers. Hawk hath 2 passengers staying here until he puts out again. If he ever pays the pikemen, that is. One of them is that fellow with the parrot, Kane, I think his name is. The other is an arrogant fellow named Flindo. He's a merchant. I was glad to have them, being as we only have 4 other guests. Tell me about your other guests. Yes, there be Insorcio, he's an exiled mage from Moonshade. There be Selena, who hath not been here very long. She is very afraid of these storms. Biren's here, which is a blessing. 'Tis good to have a gleeman to pass the weary hours between storms. And then there be that new fellow, Miggum. I don't know too much about him. He hath only been here a few days, and is rarely out of his room. Okay. Well, there's, 3 people left to talk to, then. Let's check to see if they're in the, outer rooms here. Alright, so that we can assume is Selena. I don't want to talk to her just yet. No one is there. And that is, of course, in Sorcio's room, but he's not there. There's the jerky. Excuse me, buddy. May we speak? I have little time. The name is Flindo. I own a provisionary shop in Moonshade, and I have many important connections there. So, art thou another stranded victim of Hawk and his childish fear of storms? Or art thou here to investigate the curious disappearance of Mistress Deborah's good husband? All of the above? Tell me about Hawk. That bag of wind calls himself a sailor. Huh. Now, I am asking thee, what manner of captain would strand me and poor dumb Kane, paying passengers, mind thee, here in this little backwater inn because of some storm? So I went to the pikemen. You went to the pikemen. Everyone knows that the pikemen guard the roads and towns, my lady. They're noted for their honesty. Yeah. I thought perhaps they could persuade Hawk to abandon his ploy for more money and sail for Moonshade as he should. I made an appropriately large donation to their coffers, but I did not expect them to waylay Hawk to rot in some jail cell. I suppose that is what comes of not knowing the difference between leopards, bears, and wolves. Let's get to that in a minute. But, tell me about these storms. I find it hard to believe that a man such as Hawk with a ship such as the Arabella would fear any storm, magical or otherwise. I have heard of too many odd events connected to these storms to discount their unusual nature. But all such tales speak of danger on land. I think Hawk's reluctance to sail lies more at the bottom of an empty mug than in an empty coffer. I think neither. Have you not heard of what happened to Fawn? Curious disappearance of Angus, I mean. It occurred immediately after I arrived here. I recall that one morning Mistress Devereux was beside herself with worry because Angus was nowhere to be found. So you've been here for 6 months? Wow. I told her not to worry herself too much, as sometimes a man will feel too constricted at home and need to wander for a bit. But she would not be dissuaded and sent for Argus. Connections? Although I am not a mage, I am an influential man in Moonshade because my shop provides the staples of life to that secluded island. Why, I even know the Mage Lord's mistress. If we ever leave this forsaken inn, milady, perhaps I can obtain thee an audience with the Mage Lord himself. He trusts me implicitly. Ask me again when we arrive. And thou mayest find that some of the mages are very reclusive and will not speak to thee without a proper introduction. Alright, tell me about Cain. Look for a young lad talking to a parent. That will be him. Witless lad doth not have enough sense to steer clear of Ensorcio. Comes asking if Ensorcio was a mage, and would Ensorcio help him and Ale find his lost brother. Cain doth not have the sense of a cat. Let's talk about the leopards. I know what any non-Monitorian knows, milady. The leopards are one of the 3 commands of Monitor. They control the tower nearest Monitor itself. I know that they share the rule of Monitor. What about the bears? I know little about them, milady. The bears are one of the 3 commands of Monitor. They control the tower near Fawn, where their natural aggressiveness can be put to use against the goblins. And the wolves? Not being from Monitor, I'm afraid I am woefully uninformed, milady. The wolves are one of the 3 commands of Monitor. They control the tower near here, Sleeping Bull. Wolves are regarded as the friendliest of all the commands. I think they have that. I think he has that reversed. Tell me about the Arabella. The Arabella is a fine ship, good lines and fast running before a stiff breeze. And I have heard that Hawk had some sort of enchantment laid on her so that she could not be sailed without him on board. But that could merely be more of his idle boasts. Tell me about Devereux. Mistress Devereux is a sweet-natured lady, too good-hearted to be an innkeeper sometimes. I had recently begun making the trips with my father when Donal hired her to do the cooking. That was before she married Angus. Poor woman, first Theron, and then her husband. Tell me about Angus. Angus was a big man. I cannot see how any harm could befall him without alerting the whole inn. I think perhaps he took a notion to leave and go adventuring. He had a strange sense of humor and a powerful temper. Who knows? Mayhaps he became angry at Mistress Devereux and walked away. Tell me about Argus. Argus is Mistress Devereux's oldest son, milady. He inherited more than a little bit of his father's temper and always dreamed of being a fighter. 'Twas no surprise when he traveled to Monitor to become a pikeman. Not all good came of it, however. He found himself some trouble down there, so I've heard. And there hath been bad blood between him and Wilfred ever since he left here. Mistress? Oh, yes. Filbercio is quite a ladies' man. And what lady would not jump at the opportunity to win the Mage Lord's favor? For now, Frigidazi holds the Mage Lord's eye. And from what I have seen, Filbercio seems to have found a way to thaw the charms of that cold mage. Ask me about it again if we ever sail to Moonshade. I shall relish telling thee more then. But for now, it only makes me angrier with Hawk for stranding me here. Tell me about Ensorcio. Now there is one to avoid if ever there was one. The mages wondered when Vasculio took Ensorcio as an apprentice. Temper like that 'tis not good in a mage. And when thou considerest Vasculio's interests, well, 'tis enough to make a body worry. And then with what happened about that adept's daughter. No one was surprised when the Council of Mages stepped in and exiled Ensorcio, except maybe Ensorcio himself. Adept's daughter? Oh, that would do well... Oh, that would do well not to ask too closely about who she is, my lady. Mages are very protective of their privacy and their pride. Suffice to say that Ensorcio took a fancy to the girl, and when she would not give him the time of day, used his magic to persuade her to see him. I was surprised the council punished him with a simple exile. I would have thought that he would have gone to the Mountains of Freedom for his crime. And what can you tell me about these Mountains of Freedom? Speak that name quietly, milady, and hope that thou never hast reason to learn too much about it. Oh, I am clearly going to learn a lot more about it. Long ago, those mountains were full of ore, and many spent their lives mining it. But most of the veins were empty when they uncovered the Stoneheart. Stoneheart, you say? Never repeat that word in public, milady. You're the one who said it first. Or thou wilt find a personal view of the Mountains of Freedom. Stoneheart can be used to create another mineral, a strange reagent that magnifies magical power, especially death spells, and it is very dangerous. Anyway, after that was found there, the mines were sealed, until Filbercio became Mage Lord, that is. Let's go and talk about some other things. Tell me about ale. Ale is what Cain calls that parrot of his, and it certainly shows a great enthusiasm for the brew, to be sure. Not usual for a bird, mind thee, but a trick most likely taught to it by some sailor before the lad found it. Tell me about Donal. Donal was Angus's father. He was a good, hard-working man. It was a good thing Donal was not anything like his father, Silverpate. I think there's some confusion as to what generations are what here. Or I doubt that Mistress Devereux would ever have given Angus a second look. 'Tis hard to think that Angus disappeared exactly like his grandfather did. Tell me about Theron. Theron was a worker here. Mistress Devereux took him in and gave him work and a place to stay. He was not very bright. Like I said, sometimes Mistress Devereux is too kind for her own good. Anyway, Theron was caught in one of those storms, and no one hath been able to find him since. Trouble? If thou dost not want to answer to Argus's steel, my lady, thou shouldst not mention this to him. Seems that Argus's temper found him a duel with a boy from another command. Argus killed the boy, apparently without giving him any quarter. Sad business for a fighter. Tell me about Wilfred. Wilfred is Argus's younger brother. After Argus left, Angus raised Wilfred very strictly, so Wilfred holds Argus in no great esteem. Wilfred was always a willful, snobbish sort of child. In mine own opinion, he needed to have his head knocked a time or two to deflate that ego of his. Angus was strict when Wilfred left to become a knight. Angus was stricken when Wilfred left to become a knight. Tell me about Vasculio. Do not tell me that thou hast not heard that legend. I was not around for any of this, mind thee. I wasn't even born yet, and Sorcio isn't as young as he appears, being a mage and all. But my father talked about it enough. It happened when he was a mere boy. Well, tell me about this legend. Well, years ago there was experimenting aplenty amongst the mages. There were not nearly as many restrictions as there are now. Vasculio specialized in death magic. Not like Mortegro, mind thee. No, Vasculio did not want to speak with the dead. He wanted to cause death. And he was none too particular if it was a quick death or not. Anyway, soon his research even upset the Council of Mages. When the Council went to deliver Vasculio an ultimatum, they found him indeed so horrible that it was determined that he was no longer human. They put him to death, but his tomb was broken open and empty before a week had passed. And they say that somehow he still lives to practice his dark arts. Oh, am I going to find him? Is he going to be something like a lich? Haven't we already dealt with enough liches in, the last game and then earlier in this one already? Well, tell me about Filbercio. Filbercio is an ambitious man, milady. He is also a man of many passions, shall we say. Not all in Moonshade were happy when he became Mage Lord, and Filbercio would have it that he is a popular ruler, and he would enjoy the powers of his office without fearing rivals. So Filbercio filled the mines with all manner of magical traps and made it a prison for his enemies. 'Tis said that if thou canst escape from the depths of stone, thou art free and vindicated of any charges against thee. But, as of yet, none have proven themselves innocent, if thou takest my meaning. Tell me about the Mage Lord. The Mage Lord must be an adept and rules all Moonshade. Although the Mage Lord's power is great, He is held in check by the other members of the Council of Mages. Being that mages are, by nature, egotistical, the Council of Mages is only open to other adepts, the peers of the Mage Lord. Their presence on the Council is meant to keep the Mage Lord from becoming too tyrannical. Tell me about Silverpate. Why, Silverpate is the one who built this inn. Everyone said Silverpate was a pirate who grew too old for the sea and went searching for a way to become respectable. He used part of his treasure to construct this place. There are rumors in Moonshade that he hired a mage for some reason, but I have never been able to confirm it. They say that he was a very suspicious man. Anyhow, Silverpate disappeared when Donal was still a young man. Everyone thinks the treasure is still hidden here somewhere. Restrictions? Well, now there are quite a number of them, and I only know a few, not being a mage. Let's see, certain creatures cannot be summoned within the confines of the city. This would come to light after some damn fool mage summons a dragon that burns half the city. Only mages approved of by the Council of Mages may sell death spells. And the Council must be notified of all research and experiments. There, 'tis all I can remember. If thou desirest to know more, thou should speak to a mage. Tell me about Mortegro. Mortegro is fine. A bit flighty at times, but all mages are, if thou dost ask me. Mortegro's true specialty is speaking with the dead. Alright, tell me about the treasure. Do not ask me. Silverpate was a pirate. Who knows what such a man would have hidden? Personally, I think that if there were any treasure, it hath long since been found. And if none hath been found, then there never was any hidden treasure. Disappeared? Thou shouldst ask Mistress Dever about that. All I know is that one day no one could find Silverpate, and he was never found. Donal took over the inn, and nothing more untoward happened until Theron disappeared. Alright, goodbye. Thanks for that help. Whatever. Alright, well, I think that's a good point to end it. There's still 2 more people and a parrot to talk to before we see about what we need to do to get Hawk out of prison, since obviously we need to get to Moonshade, and the only way is by boat. So I shall see you all in the next episode.